It is time for an update on the Tahoe. Hey everybody, I'm Kenny. This is Sagebrush Soul, and I'm just leaving Manti, Utah. And I've been trying to wrap up a handful of videos there. We were at the Monster Truck Insanity Tour. Spent 3 nights there in the Tahoe. Prior to that, I spent, it might have been 4 nights in Tremont and 4 more nights in Idaho Falls in the Tahoe. It's working out great, but I wanted to give a few updates and talk about some of the pros and cons for anybody considering using my build as a template. First, I have not used the Amazon bag that I built that structure with. Well, I take it back. I did use it. I transported just to make sure it worked. I transported stuff from the shop to my house, which is 2.5 hours away, back and forth. I left the bag on pretty much all winter. Helped me find it in a parking lot. I think I found a better solution for my needs. I don't know if it's going to work for everybody, but I got plain old gearboxes at Sportsman's Warehouse, and I think I can find a link to them. I've seen them on Amazon. I use one for kind of some of my extra cooking stuff and other things that could easily be replaced, and basically have no resale value. So hopefully if anybody decided to break into them, they just look and see that there's nothing there that they could sell or that would benefit them. And then the other one I kind of use as a suitcase, so I don't have to put a suitcase in the Tahoe with the storage area. And they seem to be working better, so I'm actually just gonna stick that Amazon gear bag on Marketplace. I've got it all folded up and everything, so I guess I can't say whether I recommend that or not, because this works better for me, what I've got, these 2 gearboxes. And the other part that's very convenient about those is I just found out that I've got to go into the greater Salt Lake area, and I got to spend another day there. That's going to be in a hotel. And I was able to take those boxes, and it wasn't by any pre-planning, but I was able to take those gear boxes and stack them on my bed, folded up my bedding, stacked them on my bed, put them inside, so they're not going to be visible, and I can leave it in this metropolitan area and not have anybody take it or not worry about it near as much anyway. So that worked out really good. So they're actually inside. That's why all the bedding's wadded up right there right now. Yeah, so that's working out pretty good. As far as the mattress goes and the bed itself, it's perfect. It really is. I really did want to lift it a little bit higher than I did to get more storage space underneath the bed part, but I would have hit my head on the ceiling, and again, those storage boxes wouldn't have fit. So just getting more and more confirmation all the time that that was the right thing to do. Another upgrade, or another thing I do not recommend, depending on how much cooking you're going to do. So I had a little Coleman stove. I don't know if I showed it in the video. I think I did. But it had the grill on one side and the burner on the other side. I cannot control the heat on that thing at all. I can't get it low enough. I burned the snot out of that nice pan. Fortunately, it survived. I would strongly recommend not wasting your money. You can find the jet boils on sale, the Genesis. I had it. I got one of those, and I was able to make a wonderful breakfast the other day. Cook it. I can control the temperature. I can make coffee with it, and it saves me. I've got more room for other things now because of the compact nature of it. So I wouldn't recommend anything other than that, depending on what your needs are. But I can fry a burger in a pan. I'll be fine with that. And a lot of places we go, that somebody's got a barbecue or a grill or something to that effect that I can use. So I wouldn't waste your time with that Coleman grill if you'd like your food not burnt. So this is Kenny from the future, and we're in Elko, Nevada. It's 3 weeks later now, and there's a couple things I forgot to mention in the video. One of which is I also got a collapsible table that I can set all of my stuff up on, and if needs be, I can actually use it as a table to edit. I haven't really used a screen room yet. I did set it up to prove that I can do that, and I didn't show you my toiletry setup, but basically I got one of those hanging toiletry bags for traveling and stuff like that, and I just hang it right from the rack. And then I got these suction cups and shatterproof shower mirrors that I can just hang right from the window on the Tahoe and take care of shaving and toothbrushing and twisting up the stash. So just wanted to cut in and tell you about that. I love having the refrigerator, it is just amazing to be able to bring that food. As I mentioned in the earlier videos, bound and determined to lose weight and not do the drive-thrus, and I've been doing good even if I have to do a drive-thru. I've been on the diet for a month, and I think I can confirm 15 pounds, but it might be more because I hadn't weighed myself for quite a while. I was going off of whatever I weighed probably 6-8 months ago, which was probably pretty out of control. But that part of my plan is working really good. I love not having to get in the rig and go get coffee. I got both the 12 volt thing in my coffee press, works great. I love it. And I like the fridge with the power supply and everything, but I need to figure out something. I either need to figure out how to get it out of low voltage. I have an auxiliary battery that I can plug it into, but it keeps going into low voltage mode. And I think that part of that, I don't know how it reads amps versus volts, but I didn't use a real big wire going from the auxiliary battery to the outlet that I'm trying to plug it into, so that the vehicle can charge it while it's driving. So I'm winding up using my power supply for that all the time, and it'll run it for about probably about 14-15 hours at the most. But so here again at the hotel, I know it has a fridge and a freezer. I'm gonna have to transport the contents of that little fridge, which isn't a lot, but I am gonna have to transport it, put it in, hopefully let the car charge the power supply overnight. We're doing a monster truck display, so hopefully I can stay in the room as long as possible, let it charge. Pros and cons there. I thought I had my system figured out, but it's not quite there yet. A little bit more wiring is what we're gonna need to do on that. Sorry, I'm back. One other thing I forgot to tell you about the fridge. Yes, it is awesome for the food and everything, but it does put off a ton of heat in the Tahoe. So when I'm parking it and I'm leaving it in there, I actually have to roll the windows down, put those screen socks on to keep the bugs and dust out. If you don't do that, the more heat it produces, the harder it has to work, which makes it produce even more heat. So it has a hard time maintaining the temperature if you lock it in your vehicle and leave it running. So that's something I'm working through right now. It's actually working out pretty good overnight because it is getting a little chilly still, even in June. And I just leave it in there. It puts off enough heat to keep me warm. But when we get to hotter and hotter nights and the harder time I'm gonna have cooling it, because I like to sleep in the cool, that may become an issue. So just something to take into consideration if you're gonna run one of those fridges, and that's a little one. I'm sure the bigger ones put off even more heat on the exterior, trying to keep the interior cool. Just wanted to pop in and tell you that. Other than that, just kind of trying to stay organized in it. I'm just not good at it, but I think I'm getting better. I got a seat full of cameras right here because I shot a thing in Manti that you probably already saw or will be seeing. And I got that terrible habit of hurry, load out, and kind of just toss stuff in here. So got to stop doing that. Changing is a little bit of a struggle as far as if I need to change clothes, which we do. We switch into show clothes. We're in high vis and stuff every day. All day at the shows, and then come showtime I have to completely change, and there's always places to be able to change where I'm at, but I'm a little bit lazy, and we're kind of all family, so I have a tendency to just open both doors and use it as a changing area. And the one mishap that I had, I was not paying attention to where I was standing, and there was a bunch of foxtails. That sucked. I got them in my pants, in my boots, and everything, so I gotta watch where I'm changing. As far as the window inserts go, I really haven't used them that much, right? And I've only got one complete because, like I said, I'm saving the other one for, like, if I can figure out how to put a fan in it or something to that effect. But for the most part, for one thing, the bugs aren't out that bad yet. I'm sure they will be soon, but I was able to just either crack the window, or I've got those, I call them a sock, but they're just a screen that you pull over the door, and they've been just fine. They go on a little quicker. They store much better. But the window inserts, they have a lot of potential uses for them, and so we'll find out. But the problem is they don't fit in the storage boxes, which I would really like to put them in and not have to try to find a place for them inside the Tahoe, so that if I need them. But I'm sure they will come into play, or at least one of them will, before too much longer. But overall, everything's great. I still really want a van. This is working out good, but we wound up doing a lot of winter driving this year. I kind of forgot about the fact that that is still a thing. And so I know I don't want to pay for the fuel of a four-wheel drive van if I could even find one and be able to buy one. So I'll probably be sticking with this. I'm definitely going to give it a full run. And I mentioned early in the video series, or when I was teasing the series, that I was going to take an epic road trip. That didn't happen. A hurricane got in the way. But I do have something coming up this spring, as long as everything holds up and I can stay on top of the Tahoe, get a couple more things built. Did I say spring? I meant fall. But we'll be heading out to the Midwest in the Tahoe and checking out some cool stuff along the way. I haven't really done any urban or stealth camping, but I'm sure that I will coming up. But honestly, the next 3, 4, gosh, probably 5 weekends, I will be staying in the Tahoe for anywhere from 2 to 5 days. So I dig it. It's working out for me. I know it's kind of a one-man deal, and that's kind of a rare thing, because most people that are watching these videos are wanting to do a conversion or have families and trying to figure all that kind of stuff out. But anyway, if you have any questions or if you have any suggestions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I thank you so much for watching. I'm Kenny. This is Sagebrush Soul, and may the best of your past be the worst of your future.